Brady Corbet's The Brutalist.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have introduced you. You're right.
Actor,
I forgot we're taking turns.
Do you want to take
leading
turns,
role.
or do you want?
I don't remember. I mean, whatever you guys want.
I'd like to take turns.
Okay, cool. Go for it. You're presenting.
Brady Cobert's The
Brady.
Brutalist. Brady?
Brady
starring
Corbett.
Adrian Brady. Adrian Brody, Felicity Jones, and Guy Pearce.
All acting winners.
Yeah.
All three of those are going to win the nods it has.
Yeah. This is nominated 10 nominees this year for Best Picture, Achievement in Directing, Actor in a Leading Role, which is going to take Actress in a Supporting Role,
which is going to take
Actor in a Supporting Role, Achievement in Cinematography, Achievement in Film Editing, Original Screenplay, Achievement in Production Design, and Original Score.
Production design for sure.
Yeah.
The Brutalist deals with it's an epic placed in the 20th century.
So that's very
what?
That's very broad.
No, but that's when it takes place because it goes all the way from like
century.
Yeah, it goes all the way from like 19. No, it goes from like 19 like what?
40s.
I thought it was like 1912 or something like that.
No, dude,
it starts at the 40s.
Post World War II.
Yeah. 40s. Okay.
Again, he just escaped the Holocaust.
Yeah, from Budapest.
After he almost got shot walking out with the German coat on.
No.
Wow.
But no, 1940s to about 1970,
Adrian
1980s.
Brody escapes Budapest?
Escapes the war.
Escapes the wars. Comes to the United States. Immigrant story. Has to like basically find his footing. He has a few connections here, but you just see the rise up from this guy going all the way from like he's sleeping in somebody's closet at their business and working for them.
His cousin.
Yeah, all the way to he meets this billionaire who wants him to make the most ambitious architectural project ever made, and you see him go through all these different phases in his life. Everything from being like just appreciative of the small things to the madman stress of managing a project that's way over him and it's going to last for decades to come.
Important to note that this immigrant was a very well-respected architect where he comes from and was famous and made buildings that were revered and in books and in photography. That's important because that's why he's kind of sought out to do this project after he's kicked out of this house to make this project happen. But it's really a phenomenal thing that Brady Corbet tried to do on a $10 million budget.
That's insane. $10 million?
Yeah.
Wow.
And most importantly in my book, which I think we can kick off to cinematography if you want to start there.
Rapid rating.
Oh, rapid ratings. All right.
This one's going to be my front runner for the year. I'm going to give it a 9.9. I think that this one had so much to talk about. Beautiful film, but yeah, 9.9. I'll go more after that. Castro?
I really liked it. I'll go 9.2.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'll talk
Eric?
about it right now.
I'm caught between a 9.6 and a 9.7. I'll give it 9.7.
I'll give it a 9.6, a 0.1 just because we have an intermission.
Wow.
Yeah, that intermission.
Oh man, I'm at a 9.3. I'll get 9.3, and it's not. I don't think it's low on any level. It's just I think the 0.7 I'm missing comes from
Story?
it comes from
That ending?
how interesting the battle is between where the story focuses, and it's an epic, so it's focusing on a lot, but I liken it to something like There Will Be Blood. You know, this is a architect. There will be blood, in a very good way.
That's a good way to say it.
You know, it's focusing on this character chasing his ambition more than he wants anything else out of life. But you also see the humility in him. So I guess it comes into a place, and it's meant to do that. It's meant to show this almost unreliable narrator, right, through this character, because you know that his ambition is getting the best of him, but you also know that he's trying to be a good person.
Yeah.
And that's the battle. And usually that's interesting for me, but I had a hard time trying to figure out. And he's such a complex character that maybe you're not supposed to figure him out.
Yeah.
You know, but that's where I sit, 9.3 for the reasons.
I just feel like when it comes to what film is supposed to do, and even when we've had conversations about the Oscars, and I like to believe that when a film gets like a Best Picture award, it lives up on this like library or this pantheon of like films to see. like Before You Die. It's just
For eternity.
yeah, because of like we're saying that for this year, out of
Yeah.
all the films that have been made, that it showed all the techniques
Yeah.
needed to make a great film,
Absolutely.
and this one it did. I just feel like
Yeah.
in the score, in the acting, the cinematography is gorgeous. Like every little element that it used,
Set design.
it used to its advantage to not only tell a story but make it connect with you. And then because of the genre of the epic, it feels like it has this timeless, eternal quality to it.
Sure.
And I was so impressed the whole time watching it and feeling this lifetime that it's going to live on its own. And it's so beautiful, the way that it's paced and the way it presents itself. And I remember at the end being like, this is a real story. Like now I want to go and research this guy because
Same.
part of me just didn't want to feel like this was just a movie. I wanted to feel like it's so rich and so real. And
It's engrossing for sure.
Yeah.
It's engrossing.
and because of how much I connected, that's why I just feel like it lives very high up. Sure, ratings can change and all that. But I've just been amazed at what this director was able to do. And this is
I
I'm not
wanted to
mistaken,
touch on that because Brady Corbet has done a number of films. He started as an actor, actually. He was an actor, and that's how he made his money. Kind of growing up, he was a child actor, and then kind of came
shit.
up. Nothing
But yeah,
stupendously great as a role or anything like that, but then he started thinking, I gotta figure this out. I'm not gonna be an actor forever. I don't really want to stay in this room. And he was always a cinephile and would always go study films. But when it came to the other films, they were modest films. The last film he did was with Natalie Portman. A film.
Which one? What was it called?
What was it called?
Are we talking about Brody?
Yeah. No. Brady Corbet.
Corbet.
But I have to give credit to where credit is due. Not only did Brady make an amazing epic of a film, and definitely a front runner.
Last thing he did was The Crowded Room, which was a TV miniseries.
Before that, he did a film with Natalie Portman. His last feature.
30/30 Vision, Vox Lux.
Vox Lux.
yeah.
But anyways, he impressed me in this because you usually don't take as many risks as he made that fresh out. You don't take as many risks as he took, and not only that, but I mean, there's a popular article going around right now. We could talk about the AI stuff too if you guys want, but there's a popular article going around that he didn't get paid for The Brutalist. That he made no money off The Brutalist.
Wow.
Somebody cleared it up, which I want to clear up. That's very impressive. And to us filmmakers, you're like, yeah, fuck commerce, you know what I mean? And you want to support that. But what ended up happening was, this is important to the cinematography. It's important to the look of the film and its intention. He shot this in VistaVision, what a lot of people will call poor man's IMAX, and boy, did it make the fucking picture. I mean, he knew this needed to be in this large format style. And in order to shoot in VistaVision, because VistaVision hadn't been used in like 40 years.
And now we're getting 2 films in 2 years.
Yeah.
He gave up his salary, quote unquote. But he made a back end deal, and this movie's making money, so he's gonna get paid more than he would have probably
Get some
gotten paid
points,
to
bro,
begin.
instead of cash.
What you have to for directors, basically, the minimum you get paid is scale plus 20%. You get scale, whatever the DGA scale is for this budget range, plus 20%. That's the bare minimum that you have to get paid. He gave up even that.
Oh, wow.
So to be able to shoot in VistaVision, which again, as a director, it's like,
So
dude, you're not
Did he-
Spielberg. You're not
did
rich.
he live what the Adrian Brody's character did? He would give up his money just for a few more feet up.
Yeah, I mean, kind of, because he didn't get paid on the last film either. He makes his money. He lives paycheck to paycheck by shooting commercials in Norway. That's how
Don't
he
we
makes
all?
his money
They get
just to
paid pretty good,
survive. So again, I have to give him credit there. I have to give him credit for bringing back VistaVision. Man, is this public? It is public.
I don't know if it is.
Is it? I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is.
I don't think the fact that it's in VistaVision is public.
No? Okay.
I wouldn't say
Then
yet.
I shouldn't say anything.
Yeah.
But another film will be in VistaVision this year. We know that for sure. And
Just to give a sorry.
No, and just the last thing I'll say about that is you have the interesting thing about using VistaVision and that format mixed in with taking risks as a director that nobody else would be brave enough to take at this juncture of your career. It's just super impressive.
Yeah.
Man.
I want to start early this time. Austin, it's nominated again for editing.
Yeah.
What did you see? Because I know that when
Yeah.
we walked away, I mean, a long movie's always hard, I think, for any editor because you don't want it to. You want to give it enough meat that it's going to be a good film, but you also need to cut some out and leave some in.
This is almost a 4-hour picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think of the editing overall?
When I walked out, I thought it was great, and it was a
When
front
you what?
runner. When I walked out,
Oh, sorry.
I thought for me it was the front runner, but I think it was maybe the second film I saw
Yeah.
from the list. Right now, it's sitting at 3 for me. It was great. If say like an Aura or Conclave didn't come out this year, it would be at the top for me. Solely just due to the pacing, honestly.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to take it though?
No.
No.
Honestly, I gotta disagree with you there because the sequences, even when he's talking to Guy Pearce's character, like when they're first talking
good.
inside of that bar,
Yeah.
or not the bar, but
The
like the
diner.
house, the diner, and then he's just looking around the room, and the people start moving slowly.
Yeah.
At first, you're like, "Why? What's the whole point of that?" But then you really start to spend time with it, and you're kind of thinking, "Oh, I don't know." The way that I perceived it was time is slow. Like that whole world is so simple to him. It's so not below him, but
Yeah.
just away from his own interests.
Yeah.
I always have to wonder how hard you have to lean because are those choices a director's choice or are they an editor's choice?
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least for the conversation of like best editing,
Yeah.
I do think it's the director's choice how long you want to let a scene breathe, but it's the editor that's
Only if the editor's a bitch.
But I think it's the editor's choice to like or
Who edited
knowledge
this?
to know how to cut and know how to like have the vision come true.
Yeah.
You know,
No, of course, just like anything else. I mean, a cinematography choice could be a director's choice at the
Yeah.
end of the day, but it's,
David Janska was the editor.
what else has he done?
Monkey Man,
Oh
The
shit!
Crowded Room, Pieces of a Woman, Jupiter's Moon. Nothing too big. I think
see
the
the
biggest
Monkey
thing
Man.
was Monkey
Okay.
Man.
I'm just like, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think the Brutalist has won virtually anything. I think it got some DGA stuff, but I don't think it's won anything.
Like, not
except for
even-
acting, except for
I
Brody.
was about to
Not
say
even
that.
for Best Picture?
I don't think it's won anything other than acting for Brody. Like he's gotten SAG, he's gotten
Brady
BAFTA.
won at BAFTA.
Brady Corbet won directing for BAFTA.
Yeah, and cinematography also won at the BAFTAs.
Oh wow, okay.
Critics' Choice won Best Actor.
Critics' Choice. I think most awards went to Honora for
Yeah,
Critics'
the
Choice.
Golden
too.
Globes got Best Picture.
Oh, that's right, for drama, best
And then
picture.
Brody
drama.
won. Brady won. That was at the Globes. And then for SAG, you got to give me a minute to scroll down here. Brody did not win at the Screen Actors Guild Awards.
Wow.
Oh, does it
who won
who?
the SAG award?
Yeah.
Come back to me.
Okay.
just so we can keep the ball moving. Actors. I mean, there's a few principal actors here that carry a performance for a long period of time. How did you feel? Like, what roles were you really impressed by?
I know there's so many ages. too.
Adrian
Lisa
Brody and
Jones,
Guy
Guy
Pearce
Pearce.
for sure. Like obviously they're gonna take the best supporting role and the leading role for
Yeah.
sure. I'm in the same vein with Carlos. It felt a little bit in the vein of There Will Be Blood, The Master. You know, it's
The Master,
it's a
for
little bit
sure.
slow paced, but brilliantly
Yeah.
slow paced, right? Like
Oh, the SAG Awards aren't until February 23rd. So they haven't happened yet.
We're on the last round of Oscar voting too, by the way. Things could change.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's my train of thought.
Do you feel like
There Will Be Blood.
with Brody's character, it was like what are the challenges with a role like this?
Man, I mean, some guy's struggling with his past, trying to chase the American dream. You know, he's obsessed with his work, but he's trying to, you know, how do you say, compromise his work just to make it work. No, not compromise.
What do you mean? Like
I think that's the right word.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
Compromise.
I mean, limit himself to be able to
Exactly.
bring his family over
Exactly.
and still have that be a
Compromise.
component. Yeah, that's fair.
So yeah, I think I love the acting for sure. He definitely has to take the leading role. But what really stood out for me the most was the cinematography for this one.
I
yeah.
noticed. Wait, while we're still on the actor, I noticed
Yeah, sorry,
you left out Felicity. I think she's a front runner for this for supporting actress.
And Guy Pearce, come on. Woo,
Yeah.
that
No,
guy-
he mentioned Guy Pearce. Guy Pearce did phenomenally, but Felicity Jones, I think, is going to take it.
no, be that guy. What's your thought?
No, Felicity.
be that
I
good.
don't know. Like she's good. I just
It's hard to roll the wheelchair, man.
no.
I didn't even recognize her for the good chunk of the film.
It's
Dude.
hard to stay celibate for 6 years.
I've tried.
I just think that there's other ones for the supporting actors.
Who? Like Zoe Saldana, maybe, or
Zoe Deschanel.
This guy got jokes today, bro.
Fuck
Keep
off.
them coming, bro.
She
Keep them
did
coming.
really good.
No,
She
did
won
really
the Golden
great.
Globe,
Look.
asshole. She already won something
Okay.
for it, so you can take that
Look,
and
I
leave
mean-
The other
it.
nominees are Monica Barbero for
Oh,
Complete
she
Unknown,
did good. She did good. Not
Ariana,
great.
which it's
No.
Rosalini, which I don't think she deserved either.
I
and
don't think.
Zoe
I don't think so
Saldana.
either. I
Yeah.
thought that was a little.
And Zoe Saldana. So yeah, I mean, no, Felicity's got it in the bag, dude.
Who was the other one you said? For
From Complete Unknown, the one that played John Bias.
Yeah.
nah, yeah.
Ah, like
And
Rolling
then-
It was
Stone.
good. Not
And
great.
then
Felicity, yeah.
the
I
nun
mean-
from Conclave, like she had one line.
She's amazing, but
she's
she's
a,
not
she
in this.
Yeah.
yeah.
Imagine we get another network situation where they get the Oscar after like less than 2 minutes on screen.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
But no, yeah. Agent Brody kind of felt like the pianist. His subtlety and his
That's
acting.
the only thing that's funky. It's a completely different role,
It
and
is.
he kills. He
For
fucking
sure.
kills. He's the asshole in this one.
And he's one of those guys
You
that
know.
it's just his subtlety. Obviously, he's got some great fucking, acting,
Yeah. It's very
Physical
personal
acting,
too.
right?
Like his parents are Polish immigrants,
Right.
escaped the war. He said, or his grandparents rather. His grandpa. He literally tried to emulate his grandpa in this role.
Yeah.
Like that's who his grandpa was.
I'm just trying to remember this one scene where it kind of like the scene ends and it's him, and it feels so distant, but his subtlety of it, like what he's doing, is just like, oh, you're in it.
I'll toss this out there. I think Eric Nunez mentioned, CK mentioned the ending.
Yeah.
I could have done without seeing him old. I could have done without
Yeah.
the
It just-
epilogue.
It didn't feel like it wrapped around to the story very
I
well.
could have done
Like,
without it.
Really?
It kind of felt
No.
like a "I'm still here" situation where
Yeah.
the ending was like
Yeah.
it wasn't. You didn't need that third time jump. You
I
know?
agree.
I think, and my justification for it is that it not only like authenticated what this was trying to,
To celebrate his
but,
work
but
and
it was
stuff.
also meant that again, the structure and what he was creating, it was to complete this chapter of it being this timeless piece.
But you know what?
Because-
If you're gonna do that, fucking kill him. Do it 50
Yes.
years in the
Yeah, yeah.
future, where his work is celebrated beyond his life.
Oh no,
Like
I
the
definitely
Irishman.
think that we could have gotten to that place where it was one of those retrospective
Yeah.
looking at his works. That's why I think it's good that they didn't focus on him too much for that scene.
Yeah.
We see him enough in the wheelchair; he can't really talk.
Yeah.
That's all it is. But again, having that time jump just
kinda
enough to say,
catatonic.
it's to say that this piece is now being studied. Oh God, it's being
Yeah.
studied for future to come.
That's cool. It's cool. It's,
I think it's a good choice. It's still what makes it for me because if you leave us in the time period when the building's just finished, we don't see any longevity with what he's been working on. I again, there's another way it could have been done, which is just without him. But I do feel like there was an essential piece to that.
You guys know.
If anything,
you guys
that
know,
scene makes it feel like it's an actual real story.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
but it's not.
I agree that but that's what I feel like with Carlos is that a lot of other stories that do have that scene that are based on true stories, even on those ones you feel like
Yeah.
did I need
And
that?
that's, don't get me wrong, that's smart. That's brave of the director to be like, I'm going to trick these motherfuckers. I'm going to make the audience feel like this motherfucker was real to the bone. But you guys know I'm a fan of bookends. I
Yeah.
would have started the film on seeing this grand thing in its most,
And then
and then going back in time and then ending on like, this thing has stood the test of time the way every architect wishes it does.
Yeah.
I would have gone to that route. But
Let me
same.
transition us into the last element. This film has a lot of controversy going for it right now because of the
AI.
whole AI,
AI.
thing. Just for
creativity, man.
clarity's sake, from what I know, and correct me if I'm wrong, they're complaining that the AI was used that when he spoke in Polish
Action,
or
yeah.
when he spoke in the foreign language,
Hungarian,
that
yeah, that's right.
to make his accent closer to genuine Hungarian, so that way Hungarians or people who speak the language would not be able to tell the difference. They used AI to modify his pronunciation of words. Now, there's
there's
Why
the
didn't they use that
caveat.
in
The
Emilia
caveat
Perez?
is that
God
they
damn it.
only used it when they're not performing, off camera dialogue. That's the only time it's used.
But why?
Because again, it's a hurt language, right? That's when so that it doesn't affect the performance, so that you can't say that they helped the performance itself.
And because of a film like this, now the Academy's making it a requirement that if you get nominated or you're campaigning, it
You
needs
have
to
to
be.
say.
You have to say if you used AI. So
yeah, I'm with that.
yeah.
I mean,
that's
he didn't hide away from it. In fact, he talked about it. He admitted to it. He brought it up.
But that's going to be.
Nobody found us. It wasn't like somebody found out. It was
We
like, yeah, I
got
caught you,
9
motherfucker.
seconds. That'll be leave it to your discretion
All right,
how you
what
feel.
I'm gonna
But
say is,
it's
in
good
10
to know.
years, this is definitely gonna be a classic for sure.
Go watch it, please.